What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B, and you're watching Dave B on TV, where we go beyond the everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis. And today, I want to talk like real quick video talking about relationships and things of that nature. So here's the thing, right? A lot of us, we gotta be careful right now because see, the year we're moving into, right? Just this is some shit that you should just understand as like a individual who's trying to live a better life for yourself, and this is just something that'll help you in the long run, right? When constructing your relationships, and I'm talking specifically about romantic ones, you have to understand that whoever you agree to go through life with, you, and when I say like whoever you agree to go into life with, right? You got to see if this is somebody that you can build with, because that's really what relationships are like about. Like they're about building. Like I feel like at one point, right? I believe, and I think a lot of other people, just the way it seemed like it was like relationships was kind of like a way to heal. Like this the fucked up view. This is like the old world view of looking at relationships. I felt like people chose relationships off of two reasons. So either somebody that they can confide in and heal through, or heal, and that's the opposite of that, or somebody who had a certain status, or somebody with status that wanted to help somebody else's status. Like it was like these were the two spectrums in which it seemed like relationships was built on. Either you was the person, either it was based on material shit, or it was based on some fantasized, idealized imagination of what love is on like movie type love. You know what I'm saying? It was either movie type love or business type love. But on like just a health level, like I feel like just our perception of relationships have gone in it's been morphed and transformed into so many ways that we forget the true essence of what it means for two individuals to try to come together and relate. And a lot of times, like, we choose relationships based off of all the wrong reasons. Like I said, either money, status, over fantasize it. And like, this is a great time to talk about this because Venus is about to go into Pisces, which is like Venus being exalted. When the planet is exalted, it's like a kid in the candy store, with unlimited money, or the ability to just go in there. There's no parent supervision. The kid is just there in front of all that candy. So what do you think is going to happen? Yeah, that motherfucker going to eat too much and then have a stomach ache and, you know what I'm saying, be throwing up everywhere and shit like that. Crying, but whose fault is it? It's the kid's fault. Now, you know what I'm saying? That's how Venus plays out in the with Pisces. It's like it's exalted there. It's overexcited, and the Venus is the planet of pleasures. So you know what I'm saying? This is another way like we can slip into La La Land, just having this over fantasy or idealized version of what somebody is. And see, like, look, men do this a lot, and fellas, y'all know what I'm talking about, where a beautiful woman comes into your life, or you see somebody that you can see yourself with, like you see yourself with. So come with that sight. What comes with that sight is you imagining the ideal, like all the potential of what this woman could be. A lot of times we talk about women looking at the potential of a man, but really a lot of times we do this to each other, whether you're a male or female. You know what I'm saying? Whoever you romantically interested in, you have no choice but to jump into your mind and be like, well, start to fantasize a future. And depending on your element, the elemental energies you use the most will determine how you do this. It's not what we're doing, it's how we do it. And we all just do it in our own individual ways. So like say you're a fire sign, you'll really get into you'll start to have imaginations and visions of y'all running off together and separating from everything you trying to get away from now, because fire signs always trying to get out of something. Water signs, you'll immerse yourself in the vibration of what it would be to be with this person, the emotional aspects, and how this person would make you feel on a you know what I'm saying, in the perfect conditions, right? Because water is always trying to settle into something. Water is always trying to soak in something, or if not soak in, trying to bounce off of something. You know what I'm saying? Bounce off of something, and yeah. Earth, you might be trying to create practical scenarios and solutions of how it would be if y'all was together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like seeing the realistic aspects of that love, or seeing how it could work out for all parties involved, whether it be material or, some emotional. Because, like, people think, you know, we know we all have, we all experience the same thing. So just because, somebody has heavy earth energy doesn't mean that they don't have feelings and they don't feel things. They feel things just as deeply, but just process it a different way. And air signs, you know what I'm saying? You might be coming up with a bunch of logic about how y'all could work together, or coming up, letting your mind go free with the different conversations that y'all might have, or you might want to get a lot of information on this person. You know what I'm saying? You might want to, yeah. And going back on the water, because I was specifically talking about, because I was like, water likes to soak into things. I was specifically thinking about Scorpio. I was like, Scorpios don't really like to soak in, but what Scorpios will do though is they'll still immerse themselves in whoever they're interested in. They'll like, whether it's like kind of looking behind the scenes and researching this person, kind of seeing, what I'm saying, investigation type shit, where you're trying to like, it's more like strategic. So you're trying to figure out all different angles of this person. Like, you're trying to figure this person out, like, type shit, but with emotions, and because you're so emotionally obsessed with what they doing, but anyway. Anyway, but yeah, moving forward, you know what I'm saying? So, but going back to what I was saying even before that, like, about men, like, you know what I'm saying, what we do is we create this vision, and we see all the different possibilities with this woman, and so we start to put our own perception of what the ideal version of her is. But, the truth of the matter is, it's kind of scary to think about how much you really don't know anybody. Like, and this goes for men and women right here. It's like, we don't really know anybody. The only time we get to really know somebody is through time and experience. That's how true colors get shown, I guess, if you will. But even then, you got to understand that people change and people transform, and sometimes what you trying to label as somebody's true colors is something that they might have just got privy to. Therefore, they're incorporated into their firmware. Like, we all do like many updates and shifts. We all got shifts. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? We all go through shifts. Whether it be like, universal shifts and shifts in the, you know what I'm saying, like shifts. I don't really know how to categorize it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, when back in, a couple months ago, we felt some kind of just shift in consciousness. Like that's what I'm talking about. Shifts in consciousness. We all have shifts, but we also go through many epiphanies every day, every day, every second, every minute. We are constantly in our own world anyway. It's just we participate in the external world and pretend that these things matter and things of that nature. We give it label and we give it meaning and purpose. But that meaning and purpose comes to what we're building inside. So when you're trying to find somebody to live life with, because a lot of us really, we call it marriage, but it's just like we're trying to find a life partner a lot of times, like a life partner, somebody that you can build with. And like, that's kind of what this world is about: building, expanding, learning, growing, and things of that nature. But if you're with somebody that you can't build with, aka you might like them, they might make you feel good, they might do nice things, but can you build with them? Can y'all build on an idea? Not just y'all have an idea and then it becomes a dud because neither of y'all understand what the other is working with, therefore you don't see any spark. Because see, it's almost like this. You can have an idea with your partner, right? And it might start off really exciting. It's like, oh yeah, what if we did this? And the partner goes, oh yeah, well, I actually have this, that, and the third. So this, that, and the third can go on top of that. And then you go, oh shit, okay, boom. I actually been working on this and this and this, so I can put that on this. And then she might go, oh well, okay, well, what if we took 2 steps back and kind of shaved it to the side, turned it to this way, and then boom, and like, and you be like, oh yeah, yeah, and then I can take that and do that. Boom. That's like building. That's building. That's mentally building. And like, I got into my actor mode real quick, but like that's building. Now, a lot of us are in relationships with people who it's actually more like this. It's like, oh yeah, I could do this, that, and the third. Oh, okay, that's cool. Silence. Oh, what if we did this and this? Oh yeah, I like that idea. And that silence might be filled with, like I was just talking about before, good sex, good conversation, even. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all might just have generally a good time together or something, like whatever it is. Like, y'all might have some cool pleasures in between. But see, I feel like really ask yourself, like, are you with somebody who you can build with, aka build on ideas and shit like that, or do y'all just kind of have a couple good laughs and shit? And sometimes, like, you gotta also consider what it is that you want out of life in general too, because some of us don't. Some of us aren't on a path to constantly be building, or some of us aren't on a path. But that goes into compatibility as well. Are you a builder who's with somebody who you can't really build with? And 9 times out of 10, see, it's not even about whether you're a builder or not, because we constantly building, we constantly manifesting things for ourselves. We all came here based on desires. small scale, some large scale, some small scale, but we all came here based on a desire. So whoever you get with, essentially, do their desires match up with yours? Do their, and these things don't gotta be perfect, but it's something to consider before you start to commit your life to these people and these individuals, and then find out 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line that, man, everything that I was actually trying to build my life on or do with my life, this partner plays out actually as an opposition to it now, because we never really liked the same shit, and or if we liked the same shit, we never learned or knew how to build with each other. So now it's like a dud. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you know what I'm saying? It's like it just kind of, it hinders your growth. It hinders your spirit. And like what I was kind of saying in that Still Sharp as Steel video, this applies to romantic relationships as well. Because if you with somebody who not really seeing you, and even if you do see them and you understand why y'all together, it's like, look, at some point you're gonna have to. It's like, at some point you're gonna have to face the fact that y'all just not meant to be in that same space together. Y'all just not meant to be, because like I said in that other video too, it's like you can try to make it work, but who said life had to be that hard? And it's like, yeah, we develop these relationships and shit like that with people, and we think that this is it and this is a forever thing. But it's like, man, like in reality, look, who said it had to be like that? Who said, like, marriage and shit like that is a concept that was built from the Magic Square type shit, where it's like they want y'all to have that kind of relationship with somebody. But in a lot of ways, I mean, you hear all the time, like, especially like 90s movies and shit like that, about how having and like when I'm speaking like this, I'm not talking about that. Like, I'm not saying it as if this is a fact. I'm saying this is how they portrayed it. They say that a woman kills a man's dreams. Like, that was the narrative. Like, and fuck what they said it was. Because, like, I specifically remember just a lineup of movies who constantly remixed that theme, that women ruin dreams. Even in sitcoms, that was like an ongoing joke. Oh, your wife ruins your dreams and shit like that. Who said you had to be with somebody who ruins your dreams? And who said that relationship was more important than what it is that you came here to do as a spirit? And even though these things be entertainment, this is why I hold these people accountable. I hold shit that portrays certain images of life that be false as fuck. I hold that shit accountable, and I'm here to destroy that shit, because I'm sick of that. Entertainment don't gotta be fucking mind numbing. Like, that's weaponry. Like, that's not entertainment no more. That shit is a weapon, because it's changing how people see things, to where now you have a group of young men, right, my age group, who grew up saying bitches ain't shit based upon entertainment. What they call entertainment, I call weaponry. You know what I'm saying? And to the point where you know what I'm saying, it develops into small things that turn into bigger things. Small things as in, oh yeah, it's just a song. I'd rather get this money than deal with certain emotional situations and ups and downs, right? But that shit just goes to poison you, and now you get into a relationship with somebody that you actually feel real feelings for, because you a real person. So of course you're going to develop real feelings to care for somebody that you, especially somebody that you being intimate with, but you think it's a game. You want to hold up an image that you seen and grew up on. That's not your fault, but look, it is your fault, because you got to take spiritual responsibility. And if not, you just an infant. You you know what I'm saying? You're an infant, and that's why you have a lot of little boys. You know what I'm saying? In men bodies and shit like that. Like, unfortunately, and that just does nothing but fuck up a woman's life and a woman's perception of what a man should be. And it puts a woman in a spot where now she feels like she has to take certain liberties just so she can get a piece of this imaginary American power, just so she can feel comfortable in life. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like she has to play out masculine roles, because whether it is that the man didn't stick around, or just she grew up without a masculine figure in the house that she can actually depend on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not to say that, like, mothers who raise their families, it's like, yeah, we can depend on mothers, but look, I done seen a lot of single mothers in my lifetime. Like, I was fortunate enough to have both my parents in the home, but I've seen a lot of single mothers struggle and shit like that. I've seen, because it's like, and when I say this, it's like energetically. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about what a man or what a woman can and can't do. But I see a woman wasn't, like, the feminine energy wasn't built for that. And we know how things go when things try to do things that it's not built for. It wears and tears, and it starts to transform into some new shit. And we all transformed and shit like that. So now, and nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays you have a lot of women trying to who find it better to be more masculine and things like that. And like, it's all energy. So it's like, even if you in a man or a woman's body, like, it don't even matter. It's like, it's all energy. So we just using energy. But at the same time, like, still, you chose that body for a reason. And that body comes with certain limitations, and that body comes with certain presets, certain pre-programmed firmware. Now, the spirit controls what kind of energy it wants to play into more. All men have feminine energy, and all women have masculine energy, right? Your spirit determines on what percentage levels, but it's like, at the same time, you chose a certain body to have a certain experience in this lifetime. But due to society and the way they got this shit fucked up, it's got people all confused. You know what I'm saying? It's got people all confused and shit like that, just because of the pressures they put on it. And like, the whole reason all that even plays out, like I said, yeah, the entertainment puts it out that way, but I'm sure in a lot of ways that's how the marriage is set up, because it puts you in a situation where you're locked in with somebody. When you're locked in with somebody, some of you're gonna come to some kind of conclusion to create something with them, whether it be a child or, you know what I'm saying, 9 times out of 10 that's gonna be a child. And when you create a child with somebody, that's you building too, just with your sexual origin. That, you know what I'm saying, we all building, and that's another thing too. Where do your partner spirit be at? What chakra do they like to be at? Like, these are the type of things we got to consider, because you might be with somebody who always in a lower chakra, and you wonder why they always arguing. But here you are trying to be a good partner in your mind and trying to change them, turn them into something else. You operate from your heart space, but you want them to. You think that because y'all together, because y'all, it's like a lot of the things and reasons that we get into relationships, those don't even be the important aspects of a relationship. Because, like, you got to really consider because you in a body, there's places you like to be within yourself, spaces I'm talking about. This is spiritual talk. Spaces within your body, like, whether it be like you like to be in your head a lot, you like to think, and maybe, you know, you don't like a lot of sex. You rather work on something, and you rather think about something, you rather build on something, talk about something. Or maybe you be in your heart space, you like to just sit in silence, be peaceful, you like things to be harmonious, you like to give, you're a giver. Or you be in your sacral chakra, you like to travel a lot, you might not be home a lot, but you still love home, but you gotta know where you like to be, and, like, more importantly, where you like to be. But I'm talking about when you picking and choosing a partner, you gotta know where they like to be, because love language and shit like that, in a lot of ways, that can be accurate, but it also can be very much lostness. That all that shit is some after the fact shit. The actual core of it is, what spaces do your motherfucking partner like to be in, and what spaces does your partner like to receive in. And see, this is where both of y'all see, when you with somebody who actually is on your level and shit like that, both of y'all will be able to already intuitively know what the other person needs. So there won't even be a question. Literally, it'll be a situation of what's understood doesn't need to be said. And see, that for especially certain signs, you know what I'm saying? And like, other things like communication is important, but communication takes place without words as well. There's nonverbal communication. You know what I'm saying? There's many different ways to communicate. But you got to know where your partner is, so you know where you might be trying to speak to your partner from your head chakra, but you know damn well that they like to be in a root chakra. So anything you say ain't gonna be received in the same way as if you was coming to them in a space that they could understand. Same thing with love. You can give love all you want in a certain way, but unless a person likes to receive love in that way, they're not gonna give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? We experience this all the time. High school crushes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? It's like you see somebody and you have all these beautiful images of them in your mind. You're like, yeah, I want to holler at them, but they just not hearing me because you're just not in their space. They don't want to hear that. You could give them and like, you know what I'm saying? Like specifically for my where my hug at ass niggas. Like y'all, look, your hug didn't come because they don't like where you at. They don't like you. It wouldn't be no question. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, but that's some other shit. I'm making jokes and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Where my hug at? That shit is so funny to me. But real talk, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I started off talking. Well, this is just anybody, you know what I'm saying, dealing with relationships and shit. Like, you gotta ask yourself, like, is this somebody I can build with? Like, really, ask yourself next time and sit and watch and start to learn more about your partner just than what's on the outside, aka the pleasure that they give you and how they make you feel about certain things. It's like, yeah, that shit can be cool and shit. And some level it is important, but what's more important is when it's all said and done, because all things expire. But what determines how long it'll last is how well both of y'all can build. And relationships is work anyway. It's never gonna be just easy shit, easy coming. You have to make love, but in the same sense, if y'all are working with the wrong materials, you'll never be able to make a love that works for everybody or a love that's actually sustainable and something you can keep up with. So you have to consider what materials both of y'all are working with, aka can y'all build together? Does their tools fit your tools? That's real compatibility. Not does this person make me feel good when I feel sad? No, nigga, you gotta make yourself feel good. You gotta make yourself. You gotta know when you need to be sad and when you need to. You gotta know your own shit, and then let your partner have the space to be their own shit. Cause that, like I said earlier, a lot of us like to control and try to shape and transform. No, you gotta you gotta let them be them in their purest aspect, and then ask yourself, are we in the same spaces? And then, like I said, it takes time to know that. A lot of us jump into relationships quick just because we be scared to be alone. Fuck that. You need to cherish being alone because that's when you can get the most clarity out of life. You know? Don't be scared of that alone shit. And I gotta bounce, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, this is just a quick, motherfuckers, man, look, I get sick and tired of IG, bro. They be doing too much. Like, there's too many people that be hitting you up randomly and just ask you some dumb shit about some scheme and shit like that. It'd be like, do you want a promotion, a media agency? Bitch, I manage myself. Like, stop that. And then it'd be like, do you know this person? It'd be trying to suggest people. It'd be doing all kinds of weird shit. Sometimes a whole group of weird ass people, like with weird names from strange countries and shit like that, be trying to follow you all. And I'm like, Look, the remove follower feature is the best goddamn feature on the fucking IG app. Cause I'll be removing niggas like left and right, like, I don't like how you talking right now. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, that's some other shit. Anyway, I gotta bounce though. But much love, and just consider that before you commit to a relationship, because like commitment is big. And I'm gonna make another video about just talking about commitment. Probably commitment versus settling for less, because this is just something that we deal with. You know what I'm saying? But we all learning, we all growing. You know this. Much love and power to you as you on your journey and continue to manifest what you deserve. Peace.